What's poppin'? How you living? How you breathing? How you vibing? What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Culture Climate, raising the temperature and controversial conversations on the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana. But you better call me Sister Speak. Welcome to my first time listeners, and welcome back to my faithful listeners. The Sister Speak show is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. I'm recording from Dallas, Texas. It's about 83 degrees, and it feels real good. If you hear any water in the background, that's my waterfall by my bed. I have to keep it tranquil, harmonious, peaceful, wonderful, wonderful, high vibrating energy. I love water. Speaking of that, when you listen to the Sister Speak show in totality, you need to be able to be a fan, a groupie of water. You need to drink it. That needs to be something that is a part of your lifestyle. It's how you think, it's how you breathe, it's how you move. Your organs are depending on that specific liquid to come through. Okay? Please do not neglect yourself when it comes to water. 2, scuba gear, self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, because we dive 2 leagues of the sea and we want you to be able to keep up in the conversation. We don't want you to be left behind. We don't want you saying, this conversation is too deep for me. I'm going to go back to the surface and I'm going to go to the shore where it's safe. I'm going to go to the kiddie pool. We don't do kiddie pool over here. You go find out. Like I said, us being rated, this show being rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. Ooh, no kiddie pool activity around here. We are in the ocean. We are really doing this. I know how to swim. I'm not afraid to get wet. I like to get my hair wet. I wash my hair probably three times a week. I get wet. And please, we're going to keep it, I like to cleanse my crown all the way to the soles of my feet. I like to swim. I like creeks. I like nature. I like all that type of stuff that makes you be, centered, meditating, all of the good stuff. All right. Tonight's episode on the culture climate, raising the temperature in controversial conversations, is I want to speak to the manager now. I want to speak to the manager. The customer isn't always right. Fast food and delivery, nightmares. Period. We have got to have this conversation. Of course, people are having it, but there's this show called the Sister Speak show, and it's a unique podcast. So we are for the village. We're for the solutions for the pollutions. That's why I created the culture climate, because I wanted to join the other people who have been chosen to be on the front line when it comes to telling it like it is, being truth tellers, providing wisdom, sharing the lessons that they have extracted from their experiences, and being able to just provide a curriculum for our people, because our people are perishing from that lack of knowledge. They are perishing from lack of accountability, responsibility, lack of spirituality. And it's just this entire cesspool of fuck shit. This entire cesspool of, okay, when is enough enough? Why is this continuing to happen in our village? I'm not concerned about anybody else. I'm concerned about my people, all shades of brown people. That's what the Sister Speak show is, for all shades of brown people. Make no mistake about it. There's no fence that I'm straddling when it comes to that. So this particular segment is for the tell it like it is. Say it. Talk about it. Provide some panaceas. Show demonstrate why this needs to have solution. I am an ingredient to the recipe for solutions. I am my podcast, my platform, as I aforementioned with other people's platforms. This is what we're here for. And a lot of times there are people who are afraid to speak out and say what needs to be said, but they do agree with the truth tellers, the whistleblowers, the ones who are actually advocating and evolving into, warriors in order to combat the wiles of the enemy. This is real out here. Spiritual warfare is real. And we don't want people to be out here just, lazy and shrugging their shoulders at their own demise. And it is an individual and it is a collective demise. And so we take a lot of hits when it comes to speaking. But the beautiful thing about having this gift to speak is that we actually have something to say. There are some people where they join this bandwagon of having a microphone and all of this because it looks good and, for whatever vain reason, but there are a select group of people who really do this. We really do this. So it's not one of those situations where it's just like, oh, oh, well, it is what it is. If you like it, I love it. No, you're not going to never get that vibe from me. This is a situation where we have to talk about how behavior is manifesting when it comes to food. Believe it or not, just food, and gluttony, and just not per se gluttony, but just the nightmare of the food industry from the perspective of fast food and delivery and the customer not always being right. We live in a world that conditions the customer to believe that they are always right. And that leaves the door open for all kind of unethical, disrespectful behavior to have its way based on the customer always being right. And those who have worked in the industry know customer service, dealing face to face. We're not talking about over the phone per se. We're talking about face to face, having to deal with customers on these shifts, knowing what it is when it comes to a customer getting out of hand, being belligerent, being disrespectful, being demanding under the protection of you're always right. And then having to deal with, do I pop off? And the employee, do I pop off? Do I lose my job? How much more of a smile am I supposed to display while being disrespected? Is this money that I'm getting worth this disrespect? It's a lot that goes into this exchange. And the customer isn't always right. And we have to eradicate that slogan because it leaves too much room for fuckery. And it leaves too much room for our people, some of our people, to do the most when they're really doing the least. But to just do the most, just out of control behavior. That's one perspective on this episode. The other perspective of this episode is the delivery aspect of, what goes into the deliveries and how it's a dangerous job. I know some people are like, yeah, right, it's not dangerous. It's just delivering food. There's a lot that goes into it. You have to respect those who choose to do this, whether they're doing it full-time or part-time. It's a lot to get into, but we're going to talk about it. What's the objective of this episode? That our people will learn how to conduct themselves when it comes to being in public, in a restaurant, when your fries aren't in the bag, when they forget to put in the ketchup, that you don't need to go to 100 when it comes to that. And then if you do go to 100, and if you have gone to 100, you need to tap into what's making you in this environment say, forget all of the, principles and all of the rules, the codes of conduct. I'm just going to wild out. what's going on? You know, a lot of times people are having a bad day. People are going through things. Some people are sick and tired of having to get up and go to the same old robotic, systematic, oppressive job environment. They're tired of it. It's a lull. They're in the doldrums, and then you're meeting other people who have that going on. It's a cesspool of low vibrating energy, and when these energies collide in a room, I know you're not expecting a party. I know you're not expecting balloons and confetti. No, it's gonna be tension. It's gonna be a nightmare. And that's what we're going to talk about on this episode of The Culture Climate, Raising the Temperature in Controversial Conversations. Who am I? I am Sister Speak. Who are you? A wonderful listening audience. I appreciate you. Thank you for all the downloads. Thank you for sticking with me. I really enjoy you supporting this platform. I produce everything myself. Everything. Everything, Sister Speak? Yes. And I am excited about that. Listen, we're going to get into some clips that are for fair use, educational purposes only, to raise awareness about fast food and delivery nightmares, as well as the customer not always being right, and this entire phenomenon of I want to speak to the manager now. And how much power does that statement really have? And is that a card that you've used? And if you've used it, how does that work for you? Have you popped off in a restaurant? Have you done the fool? Have some of you thrown anything? Has it been anything where don't tell me the cops were called on you. Please tell me that the cops weren't called on you because they didn't put your biscuit in your combo. I know that you're not tripping off of that. I know you didn't do the most, right? Tell me you didn't hurl that Tell me you didn't hurl chicken, fries, pizza at the employees at the joint. Tell me you didn't do that. I'm just saying though. Tell me that you did not say that you didn't get your food when you did. Looking for a little extra credit on DoorDash? Huh? You trying to see if Uber Eats can slide you a couple more free credits for you to get that next course? Didn't get your food, huh? I bet you didn't. Oh, wait a minute now. I hope you don't think that this is just about the customers saying that they didn't get their food when they did, because some of you who are delivering are canceling those orders and you're keeping the meal. Some of you have had breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the expense of your job with Uber or Instacart or DoorDash or wherever, you're working through as a subcontractor. And hey, I just have one more question. Just one more. Have you been confronted by a Dasher or an Uber Eats delivery person? Have they popped up and rolled up on you at your job or at the crib? Like, hey, yo, I was just here 5 minutes ago. I just dropped off the Popeyes. No, I handed you everything. I remember you, same bonnet and all everything. Your dog, you told her to get back. Your kid, you came to the door. It came to the door. It was a whole mess. I handed you your order. Like, what's up? I didn't get my food. I don't know what you're talking about. Is that you? I'm just trying to figure this out because it's a nightmare. It is a nightmare. Really though, it is a nightmare because there is a way that we are to conduct ourselves in public and in private. Thank you for being a wonderful listening audience. I'll be right back. So go ahead and stay in the kitchen. Just make sure you keep listening to the Sister Speak show while you do it, because you're listening to The Culture Climate, Raising the Temperature in Controversial Conversations. Rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas.
sound, action, create, inspire, impact, evolve. You are now activated.
Although she's smiling, she has a secret, and this secret could destroy the entire dynamic of the family. A man expects his child to be his child. He expects Junior to be Junior if he's senior. However, paternity fraud continues to run rampant. It is not yet a crime punishable by law, so women continue to get away with it, targeting men after men who believe that they are the father. That means that people believe that these are their nieces, nephews, grandchildren, and cousins. How can a woman celebrate a lie? Who's devastated in the end? The children. Next on the Culture Climate, the lineage leech. When paternity fraud destroys the family tree. Welcome back. You know, I really appreciate this platform and where we're going and the support. So with that being said, I really want to extend to you gratitude for allowing us to be the flavor in your ear and for adding the Sister Speak show to your podcast shuffle. I would have it no other way. I really am grateful for that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into these clips for fair use, just to raise awareness, to provide education for my brothers and sisters in the village, you know, about an alternative in how we should view the customer always being right, how we could be better customers, okay? It's just really in totality. This is not a situation where we're just going to say, okay, we're just focusing on this or we're just focusing on that. We're going to do what we do. Listen to the clips, and I'll see you on the other side of them. Here we go. I'm getting right into it. Okay, brothers and sisters, here we go.
At 5, a man is under arrest accused of firing a rifle at a delivery driver's car. All of this unfolding outside of an apartment complex on the east side of Indy last month. Our John Duran talked with that driver today and learned that she feared for her life.
2 weeks ago was Kelly McAllister's third day on the job as a driver for Instacart.
Well, you get an order, and I go and I shopped for it, picked it up, and then you deliver it.
It was her last order of the night to an apartment on Radnor Road.
It was dark out, so there wasn't addresses visible.
She couldn't find the apartment, so McAllister turned around to leave when she was stopped in her tracks.
I seen him coming up from by the tree, coming out to the main street, and he had this huge gun strapped on him.
McAllister says the man opened fire.
He shot. And then when I went by, that's when he was like, shh. He just started shooting at my car and shot out all my tires.
McAllister was able to get to safety, unharmed by the gunfire.
I would have never guessed in a million years that somebody was going to shoot at me for delivering groceries.
Court documents showed DeJay Radford was arrested Thursday for criminal recklessness. Once he was taken into custody, Radford admitted to firing shots at McAllister's car because he believed his neighbors were targeting him. The court documents allege when police questioned Radford about the incident, he said he was trying to protect his family and that McAllister actually pointed a gun at him first.
I've never owned a gun in my life. I've never grew up around guns, like none of that.
McAllister says it was a small delivery that almost cost her her life.
It was like ramen noodles and trash bags. That's all it was. And I was like, are you serious? Like, this is not how I want to end my life.
A scary day of work, barely escaping tragedy. In Indianapolis, John Duran, 13 News.
Alert tonight. It's supposed to be for a shopper's convenience, but at least one Kroger customer says her online shopping and delivery led to theft. WREG's April Thompson has what happened and what you can do to keep it from happening to you.
Online shopping, the go-to when you don't want to go out. More and more people are using it for the home staples, especially grocery. But one woman says she got more than she planned for in her cart recently as she shopped online delivery with Kroger. She writes, if you do Kroger delivery through Instacart, check your receipts. I had a delivery a couple of weeks ago, and the shopper added multiple items for themselves and also kept a few of my requested items. She says the delivery person who was picking up her grocery spent about $40 on random food items she didn't want or receive, even a pair of women's clogs. Other shoppers say you have to be careful.
Online theft is just as like theft, like someone coming to the store and stealing this way on. So, yeah.
But the online delivery person says it didn't happen just once. She said it happened twice. And the second time she tried to get her groceries delivered online, she says the person took an extra $15. WREG asked Kroger about these crimes. They said they're looking into the case and working with their partner Instacart to address the issue, saying Instacart is a third-party vendor of Kroger, and they hold their partners to a high standard of excellence. We also reached out to Instacart and are awaiting a response. Meanwhile, the victim says she will be a little less frequent in her online delivery shopping and will be sure and check her receipts, taking the same precautions you use for online delivery as you do in the store.
I'd rather go in and get it in the old-fashioned way. Just keep it from all this new stuff, so that's how I feel about it.
April Thompson, WREG News Channel 3.
All right, check those receipts. The victim refunded. She also reported it to Instacart and says the company told her they barred those shoppers from delivering.
Good evening. First tonight, 28 people have been killed in vehicle crashes this year in the city. That's according to Milwaukee police. Today, the I-Team is highlighting 2 of these crashes. You may remember just a week ago, 5 died in a crash at 60th and Fond du Lac. And in late March, another crash killed a pedestrian at 88th and Capitol.
The I-Team Sean Gallagher tells us how these 2 unlicensed drivers say they were making money behind the wheel.
Unlicensed drivers are nothing new in the city of Milwaukee. It's the second highest cited offense since 2017, behind only speeding. But the recent deadly crashes here at 60th and Fond du Lac, and also over at 88th and Capitol, highlight something more troubling. The unlicensed drivers say they were making money driving for DoorDash. It's a bit of a head-scratcher for Alderman Lamont Westmoreland. I don't know. 2 unlicensed drivers were able to make deliveries for the third-party food delivery service DoorDash, according to a complaint.
To keep people safe, we have to eliminate as many loopholes as possible.
In the criminal complaints filed for Latrell Catherine and Antiana Jasmine Sandifer, both make mention of working for DoorDash. Catherine told police he was out on a delivery, but it's unclear if Sandifer was working for DoorDash at the time of her crash. It's a big concern for Westmoreland.
The faster you go, the more money you make. So that almost encourages some of these unlicensed drivers to do this.
We're also following some breaking news here in Milwaukee. A crash on the city's northwest side leaves one person dead and another behind bars.
Tisa Steele was killed in Westmoreland's district at 88th and Capitol in March. Her mother shared her frustrations about Catherine driving without a license.
When I hear it, it tears my heart apart, because how can DMV or anybody let somebody use their car or drive their car without license?
The I-Team reached out to DoorDash for comment. They told us Catherine did not have his own active account, but they shut down the account he was using. That's not the only loophole. Catherine told police he checked a box that he was delivering by bicycle despite using a car.
You don't need a driver's license to drive a bike, so the issue comes in is when somebody selects the option that, they're going to use a bike, but then they're using a vehicle.
Meanwhile, Sandifer's case doesn't describe how she was able to work for DoorDash, but the complaint shows she told her mom earlier that day that she and her sister would drive for DoorDash.
They're giving access to that app to individuals that are not able to get access to that app, which is the loophole.
DoorDash was not available for an interview, but says there is zero indication that Sandifer was using the DoorDash platform to deliver on the day of the accident. According to the DoorDash website, drivers must be at least 18 years old, have a smartphone, a valid driver's license, insurance, and a clean driving record. Westmoreland says he's working with other leaders to figure out how they can crack down on loopholes in this system.
How many more people have to die before we speed up on this thing?
DoorDash does allow for people to work as contractors, where you can hire people to work for you, though it's unclear if Catherine or Sandifer were working in this fashion. Reporting for the I-Team, I'm Sean Gallagher.
His mother, who called this beautifully decorated house a home.
The Lord hears all our prayers. The Lord is our shepherd.
On any given day, you will find her praying in opposition to what she calls the ugly face of crime, with hopes others will see for themselves God is good even when times are bad.
We shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen.
On this day, she is praying for positive changes after learning an 18-year-old, according to a filed police report, was robbed of $13 while delivering food. As it turns out, the person accused of stealing the teen's money after going on the attack, leaving him with bruises, was no stranger. The victim told police because his car was out of service, his friend Devin Crutcher agreed to drive the teen around to make food deliveries. Without warning, it is alleged Crutcher became irate when he did not receive a tip. Crutcher is said to have demanded the victim pay up. When he did not, the teen said he was strangled. The victim went on to tell detectives he managed to cash app Crutcher $13, at which time he was let go. It is unclear if this East Memphis Road is where the alleged attack happened, but it is where police were called. The longtime neighbor we spoke with says she'll continue doing as she does daily, and that is calling on a higher being. Adding is her way of doing the right thing, even as others are taking the wrong path. A path that landed Crutcher in lockup 2 weeks after the alleged attack.
If he had just waited on the Lord for what he needed, he wouldn't be in jail now.
In East Memphis, Jarita Patterson, WREG, News Channel 3.
Devin Crutcher is charged with robbery. He's set to go back to court tomorrow. Meanwhile, we did reach out to DoorDash for a comment regarding the allegation and to find out if any rules were broken. We'll let you know once we hear back.
Now 9, Snoop Dogg apparently got annoyed after using Uber Eats recently, but what he did next has the driver furious. He says the dispute has cost him a lot, including his job. KQL9's Leslie Marin is live in Manhattan Beach with the story you won't see anywhere else. Leslie.
Pat, well, it was a video that is still posted up there on Snoop Dogg's Instagram tonight. Now, this driver says he's so mad he plans to hire a lawyer and possibly file a lawsuit against Snoop Dogg because he believes some of his private information was shown to millions.
Can Uber Eats didn't bring my food? Talking about he arrived.
In an Instagram video posted last month, rapper Snoop Dogg complains about an Uber Eats order he never received.
Can Uber Eats didn't bring my food? Talking about he arrived. This is not a safe place. You punk motherfucker. My food, got all my goddamn money, punk.
The video has more than 4 million views and 12,000 comments. And although it only lasts...
Okay, hold on. Okay, I was going to let it play through, but right when he said that the driver said that this is not a safe location, let me explain something to some of you. Now, some of you may find this to be funny, but I'm serious about what I'm about to say. Listen, and listen closely. I want you to listen to my voice and hear what I'm about to say to you. Some of you live in some scary fucking neighborhoods. Okay? Some of the apartment complexes that you reside in, I know I've seen on the first 48 for sure. Some of you want the delivery driver to go through an obstacle course to get to you, but they're terrified because as they approach, the weather changes. The speed bumps get harder. The potholes get deeper. The shit is real. It becomes, you know a fucking war zone when you're in one. You know when it is shifty. Now, I ain't trying to, per se, hear me, disrespect where you just got to stay. But where you got to stay is dangerous. That's why they don't want to come to your apartment. They would rather honestly leave your food at the fucking police department if they could. If they could, because not only are you asking them to come to the first 48 apartment complex, but now you live on the third floor. You're not on the first, you're not on the second. You're on the third floor. And by the way, you didn't put in the description of your location, no notes for the driver that there's a few stairs missing. So now the driver who does not have any type of cords with them to rock climb, mountain climb, whatever, concrete climb to your complex to drop off your Popeyes. And at the end of all of that, you have the audacity to only tip $1.50. $1.50. I'm talking about it. Your tip. You ordered 2 strawberry drinks. Large. 3 combos. And then had the nerve in the notes to put, don't forget my sauce. But we can't say to you, and I'm speaking on behalf of the delivery drivers, you can't say, don't forget my tip. Don't forget my tip. But some of the locations are not safe. Some of you live in the back of Camp Crystal Lake. You know that Jason is your neighbor. You know it. You know that Michael Myers is your neighbor. You know that Chucky is your neighbor. You know all of these things, but you want a pizza. And you want it to be delivered. You know that you live way back there. That's why the delivery driver turned around and said, thank you for the dinner. Thank you for the pizza. It's now my pizza. Once the environment shifted and they felt like they were in something of a ritual that was happening, that's why the delivery driver said, cancel the delivery. There are legitimate reasons why you're not going to get your food. You need to know this. I don't care how hungry you are. If you want it that bad, and if you have a mode of transportation to go get it, go get it. Or make it at home. Or you're just not going to eat off of your favorite app today. It's a lot that goes into it. Some places aren't safe. I'm telling you right now, your delivery is going to get canceled if you live in the first 48 apartments. Period. Dealing with me, ain't going to be able to make it. Pulling up, nerves, hair standing up on your arms and stuff. Nah. Camera crew, yellow caution tape, all kind of just shell casings on the ground, and I was just supposed to just la 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 with your 2-piece and a biscuit for $6.25, and $4 of that is coming from DoorDash, which means you're only giving me a $2 tip for going through the war zone.
11 seconds. It had a major impact on this guy, the Uber Eats driver who was trying to make that delivery.
Is my picture there, and also there is a first name.
Said, who didn't want to use his last name, believes the rapper may have compromised his safety by posting the video to his millions of followers because it shows his name, photo, and license plate number.
After I see the video, I'm kind of like, I have like a high anxiety, and I fear for my family's safety.
Said said he had no idea he was delivering to Snoop Dogg back on January 27th when he was sent to an industrial area in Inglewood. He said he followed Uber's protocol to wait 8 minutes before canceling the order.
I contact the customer many times, and
Let me explain something to you. You know I'm coming. You got the app. You see when I arrived at the restaurant. You see when I left the restaurant. You can see the car on the app. You know I'm on my way with your food. You just ordered it. You forgot? You forgot I was coming. And, by the way, living in the first 48 environments, I'm not waiting 8 minutes. That's what I'm not going to do. I'm not setting the timer in my fear. 8 minutes of fear because you don't remember that you ordered some food and you have decided that you're not going to look at your phone to see that I have arrived with your food. It's not my food. It's supposed to be, but it isn't at this moment. It's on its way to being mine. It is now manifest. Prize, first prize, you get the food. Why? Because I don't feel safe. Because you don't remember that you ordered some food. And you didn't even put a by the way in the notes. By the way, you're about to enter into the war zone. Don't trip off of none of the fights. Don't trip off of people asking you what set you claim. Don't worry about any of that. Just bring me my food because I need my Captain D's. 8 minutes. 8 minutes, I'll be eating your pizza. I'll be 8 minutes away eating your Captain D's. I'm not doing that. Once I don't feel safe, I'm out. I'm calling and I'm crying. Hi. Yeah. No, I really want them to get their food, but I am shaking. If you could just see what I see around me, it is terrifying and I'm just trying to do my job, but oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Follow the protocol by the book.
Following the incident, Uber put out this statement saying, "We truly regret Snoop Dogg's frustrating experience. We have reached out to apologize and refunded him for the order." But Zaid feels the company never did anything to protect him.
When I read that, I just felt it's not fair because I am the one deserved an apology from the Uber Eats, not the Snoop.
Zaid says since the video was posted, he hasn't gone back to working for Uber Eats, his only job. He says he wasn't on social media before and feels like he was thrusted into a spotlight he didn't ask for.
But I have to fight for my rights and my family rights. I just feel like I'm not treated well from this celebrity and also from Uber Eats.
Uber Eats says it tries to protect its drivers in a few different ways. It says it uses anonymous phone numbers when drivers are communicating with customers. They also say that they don't use the last name of drivers, but that they do use license plates so that the customer will know they are getting the correct order. Reporting live, Leslie Marin, KCAL 9 News.
This morning, the search is on for a man accused of kidnapping a DoorDash driver at gunpoint and then sexually battering her.
The victim was dropping off an order at a hotel in Tampa when this all started. Fox 13's Kelly Cowan joining us to bring us up to speed on what happened and who they're looking for. Thank goodness she was still on the phone with her friend.
That's right. And thankfully, her family and friends were able to track her movements with her phone and show up to try to rescue her during the assault. And now police are looking for the man who took off on foot. But, this could have ended up so much worse. She is expected to be okay. She was able to give police a description of the man. And we have this composite now that Tampa police have released. They are searching for a man who's described as a black male in his late 20s or early 30s, about 6'2" in height with a...
Why? Why does it have to be the description? Why? You know what I'm saying? This is the part where we talk about the solution for the pollution. Our brothers, some, this dynamic, this battle with the sexual thing, and just, come on, why? Why? Number one, he's brown. Not taking away from anything that's being reported, but why does this have to be the description of the assailant? And the energy overall, I hate it all together, but Let's just keep listening. But this is a dangerous job. That's why I said nightmare. We see it. Those of you who are in tune, who like to read and be aware of what's going on, and just are into just not being dumb, and who are all about wisdom. It is imperative, like, that you hear me when I say this is a nightmare job. Don't think it's just about, like I said, a simple 1, 2, 3. Pick up the food, drop off the food, get paid for it. That's not what this is. Not obviously you can hear that. It is a nightmare to take on a job and to assume your role and to go into a hotel. This is what I'm talking about, the first 48 situations. To go into a situation and drop it off only to be met with sexual battery. There's no amount of wage that one could earn, tip that one could receive, compensation from base pay that one could have on their, app when it comes to their earnings that could justify this nightmare.
Thin build and facial hair. He was wearing a blue long sleeve shirt or hoodie and black pants Tuesday night when he attacked a young woman who was delivering food to the Residence Inn on Boy Scout Boulevard in Tampa. Now, this happened just after 11 o'clock at night. Detectives say that the man with a gun walked up to...
Pause. Wait a minute. Okay. See, let me explain something to you. I know that people got to get their money. I know that I don't know everybody's situation. I know hustle is real, grind is hard. And I also know you're supposed to keep your head on the swivel and have some wits about you. To my sisters out there, even to my brothers, because I care about the village in totality, hear me. You need to go home. There's no amount of food that you need to deliver, groceries that you need to deliver at that time of night for your own safety. I understand that you are making ends meet. You have things to do. You need the money. I'm not negating from that need. I'm also, though, encouraging you to be cognizant of the fact that there are elements of danger that lurk in the daytime as well as in the nighttime. And in the nighttime, it's a different level of danger. It's a different element. And there's no woman who has the ability, per se, to be able to ward off something like that if she does not go protected. And the number one protection is abstaining from delivering that late at night. Being able to decline an order and saying this to DoorDash, me saying this to Uber, and any other delivery app, you have to stop penalizing your drivers who decline said orders, who know the area that you don't know, who are aware of via news or whatever. They just know the vibes. That this isn't a place that I should really be going to drop off anything. I'm taking a risk. And so when they decline, it's because when that order pops up on the app and they see the map, they're like, oh, wait, and they zoom in and like, this is the first 48 apartment, or this is the first 48 neighborhood, or whatever it is. They just don't, it's not safe. And you should not penalize the drivers for declining those type of orders. Period. It's for safety. My gosh.
And forced her back into her own car. What he likely didn't realize, though, is that she had AirPods in her ears and she was on the phone with her girlfriend at the time. So that woman heard what was going on. She called 911. Officers were dispatched to the hotel, but by that point, the suspect had forced the woman to drive him to an apartment complex about 15 minutes away, where he then began to sexually assault her. The woman's family, however, they were tracking her phone. So they showed up at the apartment complex suspects to rescue her. And when they showed up, police say that the suspect started firing his gun at them, shot multiple times before he took off on foot. One of the rescuers, a woman in her 20s, was shot, but thankfully she's expected to be okay. Police say both victims transported to a nearby hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, but interim Tampa Police Chief Lee Burkaw is urging anyone who may have seen or heard anything at either the Residence Inn or the Bolera Lakes Apartments in North Lowry Park to share what they know with police, no matter how small the detail may seem. Anyone who thinks that they recognize the suspect should call Tampa Police. You can also make an anonymous tip through Crime Stoppers, but Tampa Police urging that they get information as soon as possible because they want to put this guy behind bars before he can hurt anyone else.
That's for sure. All right, Kelly Cowan, Live for us this morning. We'll talk to you later on. Thanks.
Here at 5 o'clock with the latest on the shooting of a Milwaukee police detective. The 19-year-old man who shot the detective is still on the run. 2 others are in police custody.
That detective intervened in a carjacking and was shot. He is stable and recovering this evening. And the woman he saved, who does want to remain anonymous, is speaking out to our Uba Ali.
The horrific incident that took place here at Shake Shack altered many people's lives, including the DoorDash driver who was simply doing what she does every day, delivering food to provide for her family.
I deliver from Shake Shack all the time. It's one of the restaurants that I like to deliver from. During the week, downtown is usually really busy, good orders, safe, you would think.
Thursday afternoon was no different. An alert came through her DoorDash app for a pickup order from Shake Shack in the 3rd Ward. As she was walking inside, employees alerted her that someone was trying to steal her car. She looked back, but no one was inside. She says that's because the man noticed her kids were in the car.
It was her that really looked up and said to him, "Who are you?" And then he turned around when he heard that and said, "Whoa," and jumped out.
But he dropped his cell phone, so she picked it up. Shortly after, a man came into Shake Shack and told her to give him his phone back while showing his gun.
And then he jumped on me, tried to tackle me to the ground, put his arms around me and tried to take me to the ground. And the off-duty officer jumped in and got him off of me.
The two began wrestling. She says that's when 2 shots were fired and the detective was hit.
And while he was laying there, all he just kept saying was the plate number over and over.
In a split second, her world changed.
I can't go back to DoorDash right now. I can't put them through that.
Today, fear lingers, even with 2 people in custody.
I'm happy that they got 2 of them and got them so quickly. But the fear is still there.
While there's a long road ahead for her family, she's trying to stay positive.
Everybody was just so worried about making sure we were okay. So I'm trying to focus on the good people that are out there.
Especially the off-duty detective.
I just want to thank him for everything that he did. My kids have something for him.
A thank you for his heroic actions. In Milwaukee, Uba Ali, TMJ4 News.
Certainly a frightening experience for everyone.
Look, listen, sisters, brothers, you cannot leave your car idling in certain places. Now, true indeed, you probably shouldn't do it at all. But you know how to gauge the neighborhood more than likely. But even in the quiet neighborhoods, you still got to keep your head on a swivel because sometimes it can happen so fast, right? And you don't want that to be the case. Also, if you just have to make that delivery, okay, and it's to a hotel specifically, leave it at the front desk. Don't get in the elevator. Don't take the stairs. I don't care if their request is to meet me at the door. Leave it at the door. No. You bring yourself downstairs and you come get your order at the front desk. Because above all, I am the value. I'm valuable. And I have to guard myself and carry myself like that. I have to say to myself, I respect the fact that I'm grateful that I have a car. I don't want to lose my car. So let me show my gratitude by using wisdom on how I leave my car unattended? If I'm going to leave it idling in this neighborhood, is it worth the risk because I don't want to start my car up again? You need to think about these things. Is it worth the risk? Nobody wants to be met with any type of altercation, but prevention is the best medicine.
Involved, a spokesperson for DoorDash sent us this statement about Thursday's shooting. The safety of our community is top priority. We are incredibly relieved that the Dasher and her family are safe and applaud the officer involved for his courage and wish him a full and speedy recovery.
Developing this morning,
for DoorDash somehow managed to stop a carjacking suspect who tried to steal her car with her child still in the car. Surveillance video shows a Mercedes SUV pull up to the parked car that was left running as the DoorDash worker delivered food. Someone got out of the Mercedes, tried to take the parked car when the worker runs out yelling her daughter is inside there. The person ended up getting out of the car and leaving it resting on the sidewalk across the street. The child was not hurt. So far, there's no word of any arrests made.
We begin here.
Reporting a data breach that left customers' personal information exposed to hackers. The food delivery company says customers had their names, emails, and delivery addresses, phone numbers, and card numbers stolen. DoorDash says the breach was the result of a third-party vendor that was hacked through a phishing scam. The company says it will notify affected customers.
So these next clips are just live encounters, somebody in the restaurant recording the flip out, the bug out, the nightmare, the I've had it up to here-ness, the you got my shit wrong, get it right-ness. I want to speak to the manager now-ness. This is, some audio of that. Of course, audio for you, video for me. So, this woman who really didn't need to be there, just observation, really didn't need a pizza. She didn't need the pizza, okay? She didn't need it, but she was there for it. She's mad because she didn't order no thin crust and there's no sauce on there. She didn't want thin crust and there's no sauce, and she's mad about it. She specifically ordered thick crust, which is why I said she didn't need to be there. I'm just saying, though. So at this point, when she threw the pizza, the manager assistant came from behind the counter and said, not today, not tomorrow, and not next year. Don't you ever think about it. And I'm going to show you why you shouldn't have thought about it. You want it. Here it goes. You don't like thin crust. So what? But I'm about to give you these paws. And so the manager walked herself outside and, And so in this particular situation, Karen hit the ground. How she got there? Pause. She wanted to throw pizza. The manager threw paws. 2 P's. Hey, wasn't nothing about them paws. I don't condone violence. I do, however, believe in self-defense at all times. I don't condone violence. But if you want to step into this, that's on you, you know? And there are some people who have to get the that's on you two-piece. You can't go around hurling pizzas at people, even if they have your order wrong, right? And we've all been in situations where they got our order wrong. That's why I had asked you earlier, did you pop off? You know, I know what can happen when you want them to remake your order and you've given them attitude. Yeah, it's gonna come back with that special sauce. There's gonna be something between that lettuce and that cheese, and it's not gonna be a tomato. It's gonna be a tomato. No, but seriously, you can't hurl pizzas at people even if they got your order wrong. You cannot do that. You can't throw anything back at the employees. And that's just how you're supposed to govern yourself. This woman thought that she could do it, and I don't think she's ever going to do that again. She's going to probably remember that concrete and how fast she hit it. Yeah. Instead of seeing sauce, she saw stars. Why do you all lie after you attack us? Like, this is that Karen-nicity thing, that Karen thing where you do it. You fuck with us. You fuck with the people. And then you get the business and then you cry or you lie and you suddenly have a quick case of amnesia. You can't remember anything that you did. It's all, you beat me down. You just hit me after you just went wild. You were belligerent. You did it. You caused it. You wanted it. And that's the thing that is so disturbing about that behavior of throwing the rock and hiding your hand. Guilty. Guilty on all counts. But yet and still, you want to public defend yourself and lie. Even if it's on video. You didn't do it. But you were the antagonist. You were the villain. You already came in on 100. You already came in with the mindset of, I'm going to give them a piece of my mind, even if it's only a small piece that you have. And you should be careful of giving people a piece of your mind when only you have is a piece of mind. Why are you asking for her to push you again? You know that you're still hurting from the first push. You're still feeling the realness of that concrete and how hard it is. And then you want more? What a glutton for pain. Beat me up again. Come on, do it again so I can tell the cops that you beat me up. Sick, you're loose, wild. What's going on in y'all nation? There's something really weird going on where your women are real loose. And I'm speaking to the white men, so-called white men. Like they're loose, but anyway, whatever. And the only reason why I'm speaking about it is because they're loose and then they come to where we're at with the shit. Push me again. Do it again. Come on, do it again. Ma'am, you can barely catch your breath and for sure can barely catch your balance. And you want more? Make it make sauce. Since that's what you were there for. Chef Boyardee ground. Chef Boyardee pause. I like a pazzaroni pizza. I like a hand burger pizza. Hands burger pizza. Listen, some of our people in the village are always going to be in the fuck around and find out season. Fuck around and find out. Yep, they are. Now, I'm not saying all fuck around and find outs are justified at all, but you need to know that there are some people in the village who work at these establishments that are in that season all the time. They don't care about the job orientation, the corporate, none of that matters to them. Fuck around and find out. Coming to a theater near you. Some people have a mental illness, and discernment is crucial. I applaud this manager for how she handled him. She's obviously dealt with him before, but some people have, however, some people do have a mental illness. Some people are fighting and battling demons, and they do, what would be normal to us is not normal to them. And once again, that battle in the mind. And there are some people where you can't match that fuck around and find out energy with them. They have to fuck around and find out in a different way that keeps everybody safe, where you do have to call 911 and hoping that when 911 comes that they don't abuse their power and actually provide proper protocol when, dealing with said person who is having a manic episode. So, or spitting or whatever it is, and at that point in time, I really don't want to fucking order my food. I'm simply just recording at this point. No, there is no next. I mean, you can take the person behind me, but I'm pretty much ain't eating for 2 weeks because the loogies have made me fast. I'm now I'm fasting because I cannot. I'm pretty much, you're not only going to be cleaning up this spit, you're going to be cleaning up some vomit because I'm getting this watery taste in my mouth, and I am nauseous because it's too much. It's too much going on, and there's no way I could even begin to eat under these disgusting temperatures. Just can't. No, he fucked it up. He catted it off. Nope. It won't be over 1 billion served today. I'm just letting you know. And so literally, you have to be careful when these situations occur and know when to intervene and when not to intervene. And sometimes intervening does not mean you physically getting involved. It means you spiritually getting involved by praying. Prayer changes things. And immediately wanting to see the energy in the atmosphere change. Because, like I said, some people have demons that they're battling. And one of the number one places for them to pop off at is a fast food restaurant. They're already a ticking time bomb. And you not getting their order right will send them over the edge. Why? Because for you and I, it may not send us over the edge, but for some people, it sends them over the edge. And it is a nightmare to go into work, and have to deal with that. As a customer, people throwing shit at you, yelling at you, disrespecting you, all kind of stuff. Like, that's not cool. And we can't say that the customer is always right, because never is that behavior ever right. Hurling disrespect and insults and just trying to assassinate somebody's spirit. One of the things that I've seen with our people that I think is disgusting is I've seen some of our people disrespect our people who are working behind the register by saying, that's why you're working at a job like this. But aren't you at a job like this? Dumbo just wasn't an elephant. I don't even know why they would even make an elephant be called Dumbo, because elephants are smart. I don't understand how you could belittle somebody in an establishment that you're patronizing, that you're spending your money in. So what does that say about you going to this specific establishment? And because things didn't go your way, or because you feel whatever you feeling, uppity, whatever it is, feeling like you better than said cashier, said manager, that you feel like you have the power because you feel the customer is always right. So you come in with your disrespect and you say that. And I've seen that. I've witnessed that. And I think that is the lowest form, one of the lowest forms of interactions that our brothers and sisters could have with one another in these type of establishments. Why are you saying that? That's why you're working at a job like this. That's why you're doing this. You don't know who this person is, who they've been chosen to be. You don't understand their story, just like they don't know yours, but from the little that they know, you're a fucked up person. Speak, sister, speak. I'm appalled by that behavior. I don't want anybody who's working in the food industry as a cashier to ever feel like you being there is a badge of dishonor, so to speak. I commend you for working in that establishment, for taking the time out to apply. Please do your job to the best of your ability, and I encourage you to use this as a footstool. And may you look back on your customer service experience, which is nothing but a jigsaw, a piece of the puzzle, rather, for what's greater to come. And may you be able to extract what you need with this customer service job, with whatever you're doing at the task that you perform. And may you remember it, and may you excel at whatever you're getting ready to become. Because our brothers and sisters have no business coming into the establishment and terrorizing you. And that's the shit I don't like. There's like a group of hyenas That's the only thing that you can call them. It's always a pack of hyenas, brothers and sisters. It's a pack of y'all that wherever you go, you just are just with this shit and you just fuck the environment up. Your energy is off. Your attitude is off. Your rearing is lacking. You have little to none social skills. Don't know how to communicate. Don't know how to interact. Just ignorant and evil and demonic. And you terrorize your own people. What is that about? What is that about? And how is that going for you? What is it? You know, I was about to really go in there. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to leave that right there. What is that about? Let's continue.
I didn't spit right there.
But that's not a problem, though.
Y'all fuck up my food when I come here and eat.
That's not a problem.
Y'all fuck up my food.
That's not a problem. Have a seat. Have a seat. I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you, right? I always take care of you, right? Yeah. All right, so just have a seat. Calm down, all right? Watch this. That's how you handle it. Watch this.
Listen. If you are working at a joint and you're fixing the food, ask yourself this question. Would I eat this shit? Would I eat this? The way I just made this burger, would I eat this? Would I be pissed if somebody just threw my shit on here like this? Would I be pissed? Would I be mad if this is what my food? Would I be mad? Would I consume this myself? Would I put this particular piece of tomato or this? Would I put this old lettuce on here? Would I just throw this cheese on here and half microwave it? Would I do this and would I eat this? That's what I think you need to start saying to yourselves before you wrap that burger up next time, that chicken sandwich up, whatever it is that you're preparing that the person in the front is counting on you. They're counting on you to make it right. They believe in you. If they didn't, they wouldn't be there and ordering it. They're ordering it because they believe you're going to get this shit right. They believe it. It's not much to order in the first place. Run it. Get it right. They're expecting that from you. So when they unwrap their sandwich, and I feel like when you unwrap it, it's like a delight. It's like a song playing because, I don't eat beef. I don't eat chicken. I don't eat pork. I just eat fish. But I'm just saying, I know what it is to get, a sandwich and be, happy about it. But nevertheless, I'm expecting what I ordered to be in this package. And if I don't have the time to unwrap it, it's because I trusted you. When you handed it to me through the drive-thru, I trusted you. You handed the bag to me. You looked me in my eyes. And you told me to have a nice day. I told you to have a nice day. So I trusted you. It wasn't until I got to where I was going, you let me down. You let me down. You betrayed me. All of what I ordered isn't here. But I'm so far away from where you're at that I can't even turn around for you to get it right. But for those who do turn around, that's what we're talking about. There are some people who do turn around. And we want you to make our order right. I personally am not finna come in there with this shit because I know better. And I don't want you to disrespect my order. You're not going to find me in any fast food joints like that in the first place. But I'm just saying, there's a code of conduct. But we just expect you in the back to make it right. And if you don't want to be here, sis, if you don't want to be here, bruh, quit. Why are you still coming? I need the money. Well, we need you to make the food. Because it's not for you to take the fare for you to get paid to do your job wrong on purpose.
Keep that still on the ground, y'all. Keep that still on the ground.
Yeah, any drink, whatever drink you got.
It's a small.
Yeah.
Make them 2 large strawberry bananas.
2 large strawberry bananas?
And first tonight at 10, a brawl outside a local McDonald's leaves one woman injured. And now we're hearing from the employees involved in that fight. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Tom Haynes.
I'm Courtney Bryant. We first brought you the story last week about the brawl outside the restaurant on Northside Drive as Atlanta police continue their investigation.
Tonight, a McDonald's employee tells Fox 5's Eric Perry it was the customers who were aggressive.
I was very upset. I just couldn't believe that happened because I feel like it shouldn't have took place from the get-go.
Josie Lowe couldn't sit by after seeing our initial story of a brawl outside of Northwest Atlanta McDonald's on Friday, November 4th, where a woman claimed employees attacked a group of her friends over a wrong order.
I'm thinking I'm finna go take my smoke break, and then they come pulling me around, just hopping out of the car 4 deep, and that's where everything went left.
Josie says she was one of the employees involved in the altercation and claims the girls aren't as innocent as they seem.
Everything just started getting loud. I don't know. They just started hopping out. They started hopping out at the back window.
Lowe believes this video posted to social media supports her claims. The video appears to show one of the customers throw the first punch that resulted in the huge melee. We got our hands on the full police report from APD, where several witnesses told officers those inside the car got out and were the aggressors.
She was taking off her shoes and everything. She was like, "Why you want squad up? Why you want squad up?"
The report shows management at the McDonald's told police surveillance cameras also captured the fight. Josie says it should have never happened, especially over something so insignificant as food.
Just don't choose violence. Try to walk away because it's not worth it at the end of the day.
We reached back out to the customer for a response to the video and Lowe's claims. They say they swung first because one of the employees maced her. In Northwest Atlanta, Eric Perry, Fox 5 News.
You are currently listening to I Want to Speak to the Manager Now. The customer isn't always right. Fast food, restaurant, and delivery nightmares. Rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas.
Of caution tonight about a popular way to shop for groceries.
A North Texas family says they had their checking account drained when a shopper for Instacart stole all their items in their order and then added dozens of new items for themselves.
Kept on shopping.
Exactly. Consumer reporter Steve Noviello is on your side with a consumer alert.
When it comes to convenience, consumers are checking out of food shopping for themselves.
We started Instacarting during the pandemic. It was easy, and after that, it seemed convenient.
Daryl and Heather Felsberg have been using Instacart's personal shoppers to deliver their groceries for the last couple of years. They've had no trouble at all ordering from this Kroger location in Paris, Texas. But that changed suddenly when they say an Instacart shopper stole their entire order, but not before adding hundreds of dollars in additional items for themselves.
$225 was our order.
And how much did she spend?
About $630.
The Felsbergs suddenly realizing when it comes to this convenience,
we really don't know how the process works.
Let me walk you through it. At this store from which the couple shopped, digital orders are placed on the Kroger.com website. A pickup or curbside order is fulfilled by Kroger. Those are their workers filling the blue bins. But delivery orders are done by an Instacart contractor.
I don't think I've ever had this person.
The Instacart shopper, Jada S., as her profile read, texted Heather to tell her she had started shopping. Jada made no requests for substitutions and didn't ask any questions. Not totally unusual, but then the first red flag. The delivery would be late.
She'd already checked out and they were supposed to be there, but now they were going to be delivered the next morning.
But the next morning came and went. No groceries and no communication from Jada S. A new message from Instacart said there was a problem and a new shopper would be assigned.
I thought maybe she got in a car accident on the way to our home or something along those lines. And then I never heard anything back again.
Until the Felsbergs noticed their money missing, used to pay for this Instacart order in their account for more than 140 items they never asked for.
We didn't need formula.
Or baby items at all.
We didn't need luscious lashes.
Or makeup.
Or sexy cream.
From canned meats and candy to frozen foods, the shopper, Jada S., loaded up her cart and cleaned out the Felsberg's checking account.
I assumed Instacart had some sort of checks and balances in place for this.
A spokesperson for Instacart pointed us via email to background checks and guidelines for shoppers and spending limits for orders on their app, and adds because this order was placed on the Kroger website and not through Instacart directly, it may not have been subject to a spending limit. They have removed Jada S. from their platform. Kroger Corporate tells us once an order for delivery on their site is placed, quote, Instacart takes it from there, and adds they'd refund the Felsbergs money, but it would take between 7 and 10 days, which ultimately it did.
It came out of the checking account, and then they put a hold, and then the actual charge went through. So at one point in time, it was $1,400 that were tied up.
Neither Instacart nor Kroger would sit down with us for an interview. We wanted to know more about not only how this could happen, but how it could happen again. Take a look at the folks sounding off on Daryl Felsberg's social media, claiming they'd also been ripped off by Jada S. Same store, same scam. The only silver lining? The crook uses coupons. In Paris, Steve Noviello, Fox 4 News.
Up tonight to an on-your-side investigation that had plenty of you talking. Instacart is supposed to make your life easier by shopping for you. But after our story last year where people complained about Instacart ripoffs, even more of you called us with similar experiences of being overbilled or not getting what you ordered. Tonight, WRG's April Thompson has an update and some things you should know before you let someone do the shopping for you.
For some, this is the old way of shopping, going to the store. But at least you're guaranteed to know what you're getting and exactly how much you're paying. But some people seeking the convenience of online grocery delivery, well, they are finding something else.
We don't normally get groceries delivered, but it was just like that one time that we tried. It was just bad experience.
Cameron is an Instacart customer who talked to us by phone. He is one of many who contacted WREG with complaints about the shopping service used by many grocery stores to fulfill online grocery orders and deliver them. He tried it for the first time last December and got a surprise when the driver delivered his order.
What we ordered was somewhere around $175 worth of groceries, and the receipt that we received when they dropped our groceries off was around 400 something. Half of the items that were on that receipt were things that we didn't order and were also not dropped off during that delivery either.
Instacart promised a refund for the items.
They said that they had it taken care of, that we'd be receiving our refund for, the items that we didn't order, but we got charged for. They said that it would take roughly 2 weeks.
So he decided to give it another try. But on the second order, he says the same thing happened.
At this point, I was very, very furious.
He went back to the grocery store and Instacart for answers.
A lot of them just didn't believe us. Like, they thought that we were just lying to get free groceries.
So he saved the video from his home camera that showed the few bags the Instacart driver delivered to his home. Far fewer than what you would expect if he had gotten $500 worth of groceries.
It was mind-blowing. I mean, I've never been out that kind of money for no reason before.
What's worse, he says, the refund he was promised took months.
It took quite a while for that refund to come through. It took a lot of arguing as well.
Instacart is a third-party vendor, a company that hires independent workers who get your order, go to the store, and actually pick your items off the shelf.
If I would have known that going into it, I would have never used it.
So who are these Instacart independent workers? Instacart says they do conduct background checks of shoppers to ensure they meet safety standards. They also have to sign an independent contractor's agreement. Shoppers can be deactivated for any fraudulent activity and for failing to meet standards.
You're essentially paying someone on an app to go shopping for you. So you just need to be on top of it. Make sure that as soon as you search your stuff and as soon as you get it, you look and you see any discrepancies, you don't need to wait. You need to reach out immediately.
Better Business bureaus across the country have seen plenty of complaints about Instacart.
They've had about 2,149 complaints nationwide in the last 12 months. 19 of those have been local complaints. And when I read through those complaints, that's the number one thing that people are complaining about, that they were charged for their actual groceries and there were things missing or there were items added that they didn't authorize.
Instacart denied our request for an interview and for the number of complaints they have received. In a statement, they said customers who have issues with Instacart should contact the Instacart Customer Experience Team. The Better Business Bureau says Instacart has been responsive on some of the complaints, including the 19 filed locally.
I believe 11 of those have been resolved to the owner's satisfaction. I believe the others were closed out as the business made attempts. I don't know whether the consumer was satisfied.
The BBB has these tips. Be sure to double-check your order. Reach out immediately if you see something wrong with your order. And make payments with credit cards, not debit, so you have more protection. It boils down to buyer beware, taking precautions on your end so convenience doesn't end up costing you more. But Cameron, who is now using another shopping service, is still left to wonder if delivery is even worth the hassle.
If you can, just find the time to go to the grocery store.
April Thompson, WREG News Channel 3.
Did you know that the Sister Speak Show is a syndicated podcast on Amazon Alexa and Sonos? Tell a friend. Also let them know that the show is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. Thank you for downloading each episode on demand.
There won't be any more warnings. That's why your heart is beating fast. He's out there again. You can see him from the stage. He's obsessed with you. That's why he's taking your pictures. You're his fantasy. The latest episode of The Suspense Files on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now, rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, fantasies and felonies. Strip club killers. On The Suspense Files, we cover the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime, including crimes of passion, deadly relationships, mysteries, urban cold cases, and more. Click the link for the latest episode of the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Be careful. Try not to fall in love with a stripper. What the I know he didn't send me a picture of his. The latest episode of the Vent Session on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, this is not Heartbreak Hotel. Covering sending nude photos. Gross. Nobody asked you to send that. Jobs that will fire me. I won't be able to complete that task. Unromantic getaways. This is not going to work out. Your enemies are being pursued. They cannot unshift the season. Click the link for the latest episode, the 200th episode of the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. It's time to podcast and chill. Go ahead and get a glass of water. You can take the heat, so go ahead and stay in the kitchen. Just make sure you keep listening to the Sister Speak Show while you do it, because you're listening to the culture climate, raising the temperature, and controversial conversations. Rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. Welcome back. You are listening, of course, to the Culture Climate on the Sister Speak Show. On the Culture Climate, raising the temperature in controversial conversations. So you listened to the buffet of videos concerning, I want to speak to the manager now, the customer isn't always right, fast food, restaurant, and delivery nightmares. Now, I didn't want to interrupt the rest of the clips. You know, I wanted to let it go ahead and play because, of course, I'm getting ready to wrap this up. Yet, I just want you all to know, like, I feel you. There are some customers that come into the establishment and you're like, oh, my goodness. You see them coming in, you already know what it's going to be, you know. And so I would like for that group of our brothers and sisters who choose to conduct themselves like that when they're in public to stop, obviously, but to know that behavior is demonic. It is something where it just continues to divide us, because who wants to be around that? Every time you go into an establishment, if this particular energy is in the establishment, you already know it's going to be some shit. It's going to be something that pops off, and you don't want to be in the midst of the pop off. But you also have the right to enjoy this establishment as well in a high vibration, and to be met with that. It's like, how much pay do you know, are you considering enough to make in order to endure that type of abuse? And how do you do away with the customer is always right when clearly, and just not only from these clips, in your own everyday life, you know that the customer is not always right. So then where is the protection, right? A balanced protection. Where's the equilibrium? There we go. In the protection for the employees who work in the fast food. We hear about Instacart and the nightmares of, okay, I'm sending you to shop for my items, run me my groceries, and then next thing you know, not only are you running, the only thing you're running is a scam to, basically get what you need, and I am out of money. Now I have to go through this entire process of disputing just to get back what I should not even have to be disputing. It should have just been a simple 1, 2, 3, right? Where you do right and everybody is satisfied. You're getting paid, I'm receiving my order, and now you can go off and make more money. It should not be any type of, fugaziness, any F shit, any just type of, low vibrating thought process that could land you in jail. It's just not worth it to take what does not belong to you. On the job, as a subcontractor, there are rules that you have to abide by. And the customer who trusts the app is expecting that the people who sign up have gone through enough of a background check or whatever the hiring process is to where this delivery app feels comfortable with their employee. So, nothing is going to be perfect. And it would just require more think tanks within the food delivery industry to find ways to try to, patch up the leaks. Because if there are loopholes, there's going to be an energy that's going to get in the midst of that loophole and run it up. And it's not funny, but I'm just saying they're going to run it up. It's going to be, oh, I found a loophole. Oh, I ain't tripping off this job. Let me get what I got to get. There is an energy of shrug your shoulders and I don't do hindsight energy. There are people who don't think about what could come as a result of me doing this, living like this, being like this, thinking like this, taking this risk. This is an industry where people are eating. You have to eat. But it just makes you think twice about the nightmares that come from this industry. And no one wants to not make it home safely. And no one wants to take their time out to, spend their money and not get what they expected. I want the customers to hear this. The delivery drivers do not make a bulk of their money from who they're subcontracting through. There's a base pay. They make their living off of your tips. Period. So if you are wondering why your shit got kicked back, if you wanted to know why you didn't get your order, why it kept circulating through the app, it's because driver after driver declined your shit. Because nobody wants to deliver food 5 miles away, 10 miles away, 14 miles away for $2.50. Would you do it? That's a nightmare. That's pimping. That's ridiculous. But that is what happens. There are orders that come across the app that are for $2, $2.19, $1.75, $3. Your shit is not coming. Your food is not on the way. You need to know that. It's never going to be on the way. Only people that do that, they just don't know any better. They don't know any better. That's what I would like to think, than to take these orders. But you're ordering a meal for a village and you're not tipping. And this app is only paying $2.50 for the delivery. And you know who gets in trouble, or who has it count against them, is the driver, because they have wisdom enough to decline it. That's why you're not getting your food, because you don't have the grace to tip, but you have the audacity to order. And you may not have a car. You may have a car. I don't know what your circumstance is, but I know that your circumstance is that you're not willing to tip, to show your appreciation for the driver who has to go into the restaurant, show their phone, wait for the food, get the food, put the food securely in the car or in their hot bag, drive to you, endure all of those elements just to bring you your food. Is there any consideration for the energy? And nobody wants to exude that energy and then have to fight for their life, because on the other end of this knock or this ring or this meet me at the door is a predator. That's a nightmare. There's no amount of any type of restaurant, there is no type of food that is worth that. That is a nightmare. So if you don't tip, it's not worth the trip. And some of you live far away. You live 14, 19, 20 miles away, and you aren't tipping. The app is only paying, like I said, a small amount of money, and you're wondering why. You're cursing and fussing because you can't get anybody to deliver your food, and you're not going to. Because it's weird to me that an app would put out a base pay for an item and then sit there and say, hey, take this 2-piece and a biscuit. I know that we're in Oregon, but do you mind driving to New Mexico just for $3.50? No, they're not tipping. And just, do you mind taking this? What? You're declining? We're letting you go, because you had enough wisdom as a subcontractor to discern that this wasn't worth it. That's what y'all want. Y'all, could you please take this drumstick to Egypt? I know we're in the United States of America, but they just ordered a drumstick in Egypt, Cairo to be exact, and we need you to deliver it. I know the base pay is only $2.75. I know they're not tipping, but could you please do it anyway? What you mean you're going to decline? Gotta let you go, because you have enough wisdom to want to go to Cairo to deliver a drumstick for $2.75. Come on. It's not, there has to be a different algorithm. There has to be a different algorithm to where everybody benefits from using the app, earning wages from the app. Period. There's nothing else to say outside of that. I'm telling you now. Excuse me. I'm not going to argue with you about your order at all. I'm not defending the company if shit pops off in a restaurant that I'm working in. I'm not. If this customer is with the shit on this level, so be it. They can have whatever they want. If they start throwing shit, I'm going to the back. I'm not even finna be here to tape it. I'm not going to be here to join as a team to fight this person off. I'm out. Nope. This is my last day. You all got to start learning what a last day is. How much more shit are you going to endure? You can only have a milkshake thrown at you so many times before you say, this isn't it. This is not it. I'm out of there. I'm not fighting as a team because we fucked up their order, because we in the wrong, and because they're coming with it. I'm not. And it is an energy that is embarrassing. It's an energy that makes the news. We don't need to be making the news for this type of shit, brothers and sisters. We just don't. We need to know how to conduct ourselves. We need to make sure that we're doing our jobs on both sides of the counter right and effectively and giving positive energy both ways around. Now, some incidents are unexpected, and that's where you then learn more lessons in life. You learn how to handle something else. Everything isn't going to always be smooth. There will be turbulence. There will be moments where you have to learn something new. Okay? Because you don't know how that is going to help you further down the line. I want to urge all of my brothers and sisters to be careful out there delivering. I want you to use discernment when you are selecting your orders. I don't care if it's showing $14, $16, $25, $35. You need to make sure you can handle this order. Is this something you can do? It may be that you have to go shopping. Can your car handle the capacity of what they're ordering? Can you lift these orders? Especially if you have to go to something where like a Costco or a Sam's Club or even a Wally Mart. It's just like, can you lift this shit? Stuff like, can you handle this? Can you lift? Is this something you could do, or are you just being greedy? And try to make sure that you are being honest about delivering. Don't do them wrong just because they ordered your favorite food. That is not right to the customer. You want to be able to have a good standing within your reputation at this company as a subcontractor. You do. The acceptance rate and the cancellation rate, that is what that is. But when it comes to the customer rating, that has to be at 100%. That's got to be up there. Now, I know some customers lie and you get docked and points, but that's why you got to cover your own end, documenting your own delivery, making sure you are in constant communication with the customer service team, that you're always polite to the customer service team. You got to learn how to speak. You have to learn how to be, your energy. I'm able to obtain a lot because of my energy, because I know how to conduct myself. You're never going to be embarrassed when you're out with me, because no matter what environment I go into, I know how to carry myself. I don't want the ramifications spiritually of what it's going to be if I pop off because somebody forgot to put my fries in the bag. People a man literally lost his life because he gave a customer cold fries. And it turned out that the man who shot the employee was wanted for murder. And he called the police about his fries being cold. Listen. I don't know what's in these fries. But chemically, something is making people lose their minds. We saw people lose their minds over the chicken sandwich. A chicken sandwich. I want you to repeat that with me. A chicken sandwich. Fighting over a new piece of chicken. Fist to fist to face, literally, because they have run out of chicken. Lines around the corner and people literally losing their mind behind this sandwich. That's a nightmare for the village because that's embarrassing that our people are so hooked on basic shit and lose their minds over basic shit and only want basic shit, only eat basic shit and do basic things and are expecting a supernatural outcome. And they're expecting a high level of quality of life, and they don't exude that because everything is below basic. Behavior, energy, spirituality over a chicken sandwich. I don't get it. Like, let me tell you now why whoever ends up being my husband is going to be blessed. A lot I won't give away, but I'll say this. Baby, whoever you are, I love you. Number 2, but serious, and that's serious. I pray for whoever is coming to me. You know, I pray for him. You know, I pray for his daily comings and goings, and my prayers manifest, and it is a skill and a tool that I use in my warfare. So, 2, whoever is going to wife me, not wife, really seriously, be like, Ayana, Sister Speak, you're the one. You are who I need for my team. Like, you're the one. I'm like, I know, thanks. You are too. But seriously, I don't eat a lot of bullshit. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I'm easy on the menu. You're going to really find that your pockets are still thumpy because you'll still be able to pull that band because I don't require the basic shit that some do. Real talk. I don't eat beef. So we're good. I don't eat chicken. We're good. I don't eat pork. We're good. I don't eat shrimp, lobster, scallops. I don't eat crab. I don't eat oysters, clams. I don't eat none of that. I don't eat octopus. I don't eat calamari, escargot. I'm not her. I'm not that woman. I'm a totally different, unique breed. I don't do that, okay? So you don't ever have to be like, shorty, she killing me on the menu. She want it all. No, baby. I want it all, but not like that. I want it all in a high vibration. But when it comes to what we're going to put in our bodies, I'm vigilant about that. And it's a blessing when you can be paired with somebody who actually cares about the fact that you care about what we're eating. That there's no protest about the medicine being in the kitchen. Like, I'm not ever going to cook for my man to be sluggish, to, be drained, to be depleted, to not be able to be at his best when it comes to thinking. Like, you got to really think about what your role is as a helpmate. And I'm not going to sit here and be ordering shit that is going to be bad for me, So, man, I ain't have to worry. I ain't asking you to bring me no seafood. Boy, I don't do that. I'm good. That's me. I don't eat oxtails. I don't eat chitterlings. I don't eat none of that shit. Now, some of y'all are like, ooh, she bougie, or you ain't even black. You're below basic and you're thinking for even coming up with that thought process because I don't, like, who said that is the rite of passage or the code of conduct to determine if I am. No, I'm not black. I've never been black. Are you black? I'm brown. Get your colors right. Then see yourself about something before you see me about something. That's not a rite of passage. So you don't ever have to worry about that being cooked in our home because it'll never be cooked in our home. I'm not making that now. If my man eats chicken, that's something different. If my man eats steak, beef. That's something different. I'm going to do what he needs, but I'm never going to cook bullshit for him. Ever. Okay? It ain't going to be no, it's just not going to be a representation of bullshit. So for me, it's just like, a man takes me out to eat, and I'm just speaking to my sisters, like, there's just a way that you conduct yourself when you're out. There's a way that you order. There's a way that you do what you do, you know, and there's a behavior that exudes. I don't know why I'm on. It just has to be said, but this is just what's coming out. Like, I'm just really letting y'all know, like, I don't eat like that. I don't eat like that. You know, that's why my shape is popping. My everything is popping. And I'm not being arrogant. I'm just being real. Like, I've been able to maintain a nice size and a nice shape because of the way that I do and do not eat. That's just a sidebar. I love water. I love fruit. You know, I eat. Okay, let me just go on. Just get off of this. Let me just move forward and just get back to the topic at hand. Topic at hand. The customer is not always right. I want to speak to the manager now. Speaking to the manager now, it can help or it can only exasperate the situation. Okay? That's not a card that you want to pull if you're just going to be trying to get somebody fired. Sometimes you can say that an employee gets fired. You can call somebody rude because they've had enough of you being disrespectful. A lot of projecting goes on in that exchange between customer and cashier. And food is a delicate subject. Nobody wants to get their order wrong. Nobody wants their order to be wrong. You want your food to be right when it's delivered to you, whether you're sitting down, you know, eating it, or at home. You just want your food to taste good. You want it to be good. And sometimes you have to send it back. Sometimes they don't get it right, but it's just a way that you can get better if you're not bitter in how you conduct yourself. I just want to really just wrap this up and say, I hope that you don't have to experience a nightmare when it comes to the food delivery industry. I hope you do get your order right. I hope that if you are in the industry, cooking food, preparing food, that you're protected and that you have a good attitude and that there is better training for how to handle the hostile customer and, you know, also in-house, right? And maybe you should just start learning how to, not learning how to, I'm being disrespectful, I'm going to say that. Maybe you should cut back on the fast food altogether. Maybe it's time for some slow food. I'm just playing. But seriously, brothers and sisters, the time has been well spent. I thank you all for being a wonderful listening audience. I hope that the pollution in the village is cleaned up because there's not enough farming going on. There's not enough fresh vegetables, fresh fruit, you know, just not enough freshness. Not enough farmers. And we aren't eating at our best. We are consuming some bullshit. Please stop saying you didn't get your food when you know you did. Don't do that to the delivery person. You do not know how that affects them to have to dispute a contract violation. Don't be greedy. Don't do that. I know some people are from the shrug your shoulder season, a generation mentality where you just don't give a damn about nothing. But that's not what we're on when it comes to providing solutions for the pollutions in the village and picking up the litter and putting it in the trash. It's 9:56 p.m. Central Standard Time in Dallas, Texas. I'm getting ready to light my candle, turn up my waterfall, drink my water, meditate, and enjoy the blessing of the peace and quiet of my home. I am for my brothers and sisters. I think you are, I know that you are a chosen people, a wonderful people, and have much more to offer than being below basic. And Just because you can doesn't always mean you should. We are powerful. That's why we have to be cautious with how we exude our energy when we're upset in any situation. Sometimes that anger is the adrenaline that you need to knock a person all the way the fuck out. But just hear me. There's a better way that we can be that'll cut down on the ramifications of what's to come because we acted a fool in public behind our food not being right, or because we said that we didn't get our food when we did, or because we canceled a delivery when we could have actually made that delivery, or because we didn't like the way that we were spoken to and decided to hurl, foul words to, employees, or decided to flip tables and chairs and throw when I was doing this, and I am closing, when I was doing this research, because I do a lot of research on a lot of different things, and the one thing that I noticed is just the temperament and how that energy pops off and transfers from person to person to person. It's really wild watching that energy transfer. If you're not careful, it can get off on you too. Got to be guarded. Got to keep your head on a swivel. You got to keep your energy on a swivel. You got to have your energy field protected. You got to know where you're going, why you're going, and how you're going. I don't ever want to walk into any situation blind and unprepared and unequipped. But the stuff that I saw in these videos, it's many. It's crazy. The fights, the beat downs, y'all, behind a fry is bananas. And I just know we can be better. We've got to do better. I'm going to leave it right there. I really appreciate you all for being a wonderful listening audience and listening to the Culture Climate, raising the temperature in controversial conversations. I am Sister Speak. You are listening to the Sister Speak show, where contemporary does meet vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana. To everybody tuning in who will download, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you want to donate to the channel, to the Sister Speak show, you can at $SISTASPEAK 76. Thank you in advance for your support. And support is more than just monetary. You downloading is support. You telling a friend is support. You subscribing is support. We're on all major streaming platforms. I produce this show. I put together the commercials. I do it all. I do my videos, the mini commercials that I put on my Instagram page, everything. And I'm grateful for that wisdom to be able to do so. My platform is a specific platform for warriors. It is a specific platform for the village. I am not selling my soul to have fame. So there are some doors that I'm just never going to walk through. There are opportunities that come to me, but I have to decline because it's not conducive to where I'm going. That even in, y'all, because I'm protecting my energy so much, and I say this all the time, even sexually, as I say this, like being celibate is my power. It allows me to maneuver in a specific way. Number one, because the man who I'm going to be with, he would appreciate it if I wasn't out here in the streets acting like I'm for the skeets in the streets. He would appreciate it if I'm conducting myself in a way that is admirable. So when he is out in public with me, no man can walk up on him and be like, hey, yo, I busted that down and shot up the club last night. It's just not going to happen. If any man does that, he'll be lying. You know, I don't have to put myself out there because there's so much more that I want. And I'm working hard for that, because if I cheat myself now and just do whatever, right? Date whatever, I'm limiting myself from a greater possibility. And I just don't have time to get caught up on something that's just not going to happen because I don't want it to happen. I'm picky about who is around me and who I'm going to be a helpmate to. I'm not about to be a helpmate to somebody who's not into what I've got going on as far as the vision for caring about the people. I am attracted to that. I am not going to waste my time on BS. Let me tell you, they come, they holla, but that's nothing to even talk about. I'm so focused on a greater goal that I don't have time of a greater goal of healing, a greater goal of just evolving into a better Ayana. And I know I'm so close to the things that I think about that I just will not betray myself by wasting my time, spending my time with people who don't get it. They don't get it. So anyway, brothers and sisters, I know, some people are like, damn, I've been trying to, holler at you, or I want to, do this or do that. And it's just like, look, thank you. I appreciate that. But what I'm interested in is dynamic. And I'm private about my interests. I'm a private person. That's another thing. When Sister Speak, I thought this was about the customer's right. It is, but I just feel led to say this. When it comes to privacy and how you conduct yourself, and this does tie into the food industry, and we'll leave it on this note, for real, for real. You out with your mans or your friend or whatever you got going on, right? You dating. And I think that the vibe of precious memories is always a vibe. Everything doesn't need to be documented. You want to be able to protect what you've got going on. And by doing that, why would you document everywhere you're going to be, or where you're at that moment, or what you've got on, or stop invading your own privacy by being paparazzi in your life. You're too much going on, and that puts not only you in danger, but your man. And women, sisters, you do too much with that phone. Too much. And you document stuff that's nobody's business because of what the package consists of. Do you see who your man's is? Do you see him, sis? He's big boss out here. He's big in these streets. And not because he just necessarily is just with the shit. Just he has status. And you know what comes with that? Jealousy. So why are you documenting every inch of your relationship, putting your man, your children, your life, your lifestyle in danger? What's that about? Oh, we're just eating this, that, and the third over here on this street, at this table, in this booth. Hey, come lick us. A walk and lick. Stop that. Next time you go out, put that fucking phone down and eat your food. Pay attention to the conversation. Have something to talk about and get it together. Be worth the second date. What? Sister Speak, you already know what it is with me. I don't play them games. Be worth the second date. Put your phone down, stop it, and pay attention to what's going on and enjoy the moment. Precious memories. Because when I go out, I'm not about to be on my phone. If you're coming to me and I want to go out with you and you're coming in and we're going out on a date, baby, we're going to converse, because one thing about me is I know how to converse. So we don't need our phones to entertain us. And whoever I'm going to be sitting across, I already know that he's going to be dynamic. So we're going to talk. What do we need to be on our phone for? Unless we're just going to a point of reference to show something. But otherwise, Instagram, my platforms where I'm recording, all of that, my emails, no, baby, I'm focused on you, us. I want this vibe. I want to look in your eyes. I want to watch your mouth move when you speak. I want to hear your words. I'm into you. When we go out to eat, I'm going to be a lady when I sit down in front of you. You will be the man 100% and I will be the woman 100%. I'm going to let you know it's safe to be in your role. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to talk to you. You know, it's just some game. Just some game. Brothers and sisters, thank you so much. The time has been well spent. You are a wonderful listening audience. I appreciate you on every level. Let's do this. I return to sender all spell work, all voodoo, all black magic, all evil eyes. It has an adverse effect in your bosom 100-fold and immediately. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer, my God, my rock, in whom I take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. Blessed be the name of the Most High God and His Son, Jesus the Christ. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. No weapon formed against my listening audience shall prosper. You can follow me at I am Sister Speak on Instagram. You can download the Sister Speak show on all streaming podcast platforms. I thank you in advance. The devil is already defeated. Warriors, mount up.